Chelsea flying second, 4 points adrift of Liverpool. But don't tell Maresca that they're in the title race.
After the game, my message to the player was to be focused. Anyway, tomorrow we are off, but to be focused in the day by day, in our session, in the next game on Thursday and then Sunday, because if you start to think in 2 games, in 3 games, in 4 games where we are, it's completely wrong. So the main focus has to be now, enjoy the day off with the family, with the friends. When we come back, go again, 100%, train well, go for the game, no more than that. The rest, we are happy that our fans, they are happy. They can dream, they can think everything, because from outside, there is not it's quite clear. Also inside, the reality is that, I said many times, that for me, we are not ready to be there. But the important thing is that we improve day by day.
I mean, Simon, how long can he keep peddling this? We're not in the title race. That's his line at the moment. We're not ready. They clearly are ready. They are in the title race. It's just that Enzo's not saying it.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's going to handle it how he wants to handle it. Does he think he can win the league is the bigger question. I mean, the race is what it is, and we'll see how that proceeds. I don't think he thinks his side are ready to win the league yet, and that might be right, because there are other sides that are more experienced. You would expect Arsenal, who have now built themselves to somewhat of a crescendo, you would expect, after having finished second in the league for the last 2 seasons, you'd expect Arsenal to be the team in London that are the story about who's going to win the league in the south.
Yeah.
But they are without wanting to toot my own horn where I expected them to be. I expected Chelsea to be a force. I expected Chelsea to be very competitive this season. I didn't expect them to be challenging for the league. I expected them to be inside the top 4. And at this stage in the season, they're now in, listen, they're like many teams. Cole Palmer is such an integral part of their team. If he gets injured, you can see them coming off their axis. I thought Jadon Sancho was very good yesterday. Ultimately, there's been criticism of him in the past, but he seems to be fitting into the structure of Chelsea relatively well. So they look like a good side. They look like a good side.
I mean, Martin, is it going to become harder for Maresca and Chelsea to temper expectation?
Well, it's work in progress. And I think there's a change in culture, and there's lots of emphasis on work on the training ground. And I can definitely see a sharpness about their play. They're much sharper, the decision-making is better, they're more ruthless in front of goal. There's competition for places, of course, that makes it happen. I like the way that the manager has come. There's an identity now to the way that they play. You've got Neto on the right. Mikawaki there is in competition with him. Then Sancho coming on that left-hand side. Now Palmer giving the central position to be the goal controller. A little bit more solid at the back. 2 midfield players now look really good. I like the way the full-back comes into midfield, and they develop the play. They develop play very similar to Arsenal, to Man City. They've only lost to Man City and Liverpool this season. And they are very much in the argument now to who can win this Premier League. There's no doubt.
In the course of looking at the game, Martin, did you see it coming? Did you think Chelsea are not out of this? This is Tottenham they're playing. Chelsea can win this.
Well, the Spurs don't play with any balance. They don't. There's no game management. They lost Romero after 15 minutes, which is key as well. You have to look at the game. But that's where the manager now has to, and his staff, they have to have some reality to their play. And it's not there in the game for Spurs. It's a great watch. At times, it's a great watch to see what they're doing. And they're always going to upset people. But over the course of a game and a season, Jim, they've lost 7 games now.
Yeah.
So he has to make the adjustments. Otherwise, you wonder how much longer does he stay in the job. I think if he can crack it, I think he's a breath of fresh air in terms of what he does, but you have to get results, and he's not getting them. So Daniel Levy must be sitting this morning scratching his head wondering, because there's a sharpness and a brightness about their play. They lift the crowd, but then it all becomes a reality again.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to lose once again.
Well, we're going to talk Tottenham the other side of this break, but certainly when it comes to Tottenham, under Postecoglou, are Tottenham in danger of morphing into entertaining mid-table obscurity? Jamie Carragher says something's got to change, and it should be the man at the top. It should be Daniel Levy who heads on out. We'll put that to Simon amongst other things. But on Chelsea, are they now regarded as very much title contenders? As a Chelsea fan out there, do you think, do you know what, we're going to do this? I've got a feeling about it. This is going to be our season. Simon, you're right, and you deserve credit. You did say some time back, do not count them out. They'll be there or thereabouts. Well, they are there or thereabouts in a big way, but can they go all the way under this man, Enzo Maresca? Tony, Chelsea fan, you in this title race? Good morning, mate.
Good morning, lot. Morning to lot of you. No, I don't think we're in a title race just yet.
Not yet? What, are you being super cautious? How can you not be, Tony?
Well, I just think Arsenal will come strong. With Odegaard back now, I think Arsenal are a slightly better team.
What do you think of what you're witnessing at the moment under Maresca?
Oh, it's looking really great at the moment. I just think we're a goalkeeper and a centre-back away from making that jump to title challenges.
Okay, Tony, thanks for that. Curtis, you have a different view. Good morning. Big Chelsea fan. You in it?
I think we are. I think Maresca's just playing it down so that he's trying to keep the pressure off the players. I strongly disagree with the comment about about Palmer being the only one that's going to help us win this. We've got so many players with such a big squad, and I strongly believe there's players that can slot in when either he's not whether he's injured or he's not fit.
Curtis, you're not wrong there. Simon, Chelsea's starting 11 had an average age of 23, containing 9 players under the age of 25 and none older than 27. And I agree, there was a time I was saying, I was one of a number of people who were saying to you, what have they done? They bought so many players. Who are all these players? Where are they going to play? How are they going to fit in? Well, they have done, and they are fitting in.
Well, there's no doubt that they've still been profligate. I mean, who pays 90 million quid for Mudryk? Enzo Fernandez is coming together now, but he's never a £120 million footballer, is he? Or 105 million sterling. I mean, these players have every right to come good. I think it's interesting. I mean, Cole Palmer is being raved about by everybody as the game changer for Chelsea. Yet the caller thinks that if you took him out of the side, it wouldn't make any difference. So he's either the game changer and he's the most effective player that people are arguing at the moment in time in the Premier League, or he isn't. And if you take the most effective player out of your side, you're going to be affected, whoever you put in there.
It'd be a major loss if Palmer doesn't play. But I mean, you have to say Neto is. Obviously Wolves playing tonight. They've lost him. He looks magnificent now. Jackson is suddenly finding form. They weren't necessarily doing this with the previous manager. So there's got to be something about the manager who's come in. He's worked obviously at Man City. There's a lot of in their signature that reflects the way that Man City play. So I get that. Caicedo playing at fullback was interesting, wasn't it? That he wanted to end up in midfield. Fernandes looks unrecognisable. Where everyone was saying he's a World Cup winner, is he really? Now he's looking like one, scoring goals from midfield, joining in the attacks. Sancho, another one, we couldn't find a performance in a Manchester United shirt. Now suddenly he's buying into the culture, and the manager's saying, look, when you turn up here to train, we'll have a nice rest today, but you come back into train, let's see who wants it for the next one. I really like the way that he's keeping that pot boiling with all the players.
Obviously they've got this season, they've had the benefit of the boy that they bought from Southampton, Lavia, being fit. They've got him in the side. That's why Caicedo's playing at fullback, because they want to get him in the side and get Caicedo in the team because of the culture that these boys have in terms of their mentality. 2
players that Liverpool wanted, but Chelsea got.
Absolutely. And the fact is that people criticise Chelsea's buying policy, but most of the players that Chelsea bought, other people were in for. The economics of it were the things that people criticise, but why do people worry about what other people spend? That's their business.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.